Yeah.
Hello and welcome back with a brand new format to this show, and actually a brand new title. We have went from Jerry's Cosplay and Props to this feature, which is Cosplay Minutes, JCP Cosplay Minutes and more. And the and more is basically we wanted to do something a little different with this series and not be as stuffy shirt like we were doing. I was doing 3 different series and it was just, it wasn't fun anymore. So we decided we're going to go through with this one. And we're going to make it fun. We're still going to talk about the costuming wise. We're going to talk about movie reviews. We're going to talk about anything in general. This is absolutely not scripted. So whatever comes out, comes out.
Yeah.
So,
Any sort of nonsense.
Yeah. But we actually went out and saw The Batman last weekend. We did a review for that, and that was actually really good. And actually, it just reminds me, we were talking about various characters that would appear in the Matt Reeves-esque world, like in a real world. How would they interact in this real world? Because we were talking about how the Joker fell in a vat of chemicals, and that's not really too,
Believable.
yeah. So we actually look out in the near future for that series to come up. We're going to add that into little segments here or there into. Love the haircut, seriously.
It's windy up on the hill.
Just came from practice, picking Cody up.
Yeah.
Windy up on the hill. His hair's all discombobulated and whatnot. So, let's talk about Batman. The Batman. Let's leave it at that.
A Batman.
Yeah. Not the Batman. I know the Batman, and he thinks he's the king. Anyways.
Whoa there, buddy.
Alright.
Not on the video.
We had the Keaton. We had Kilmer. Well, we had Keaton twice. We had Kilmer once. George Clooney once. Christian Bale 3 times. And now, Affleck twice. And now we have a new one, the Robert Pattinson. I'm not a big fan of his acting. I don't know. I couldn't get into the Twilight. A lot of other people did, but I didn't. But I don't know what Cody's opinion is, but I don't think he played a good Bruce Wayne.
Not a Bruce Wayne. A Batman, I did not mind. It wasn't the greatest, but I actually didn't mind it, all things considered. He doesn't look the part.
I mean, he walked around brooding in most of the movie.
Yeah.
He just walked around brooding. Cripes. Affleck did more than that. But,
I also grew up basically with Affleck, so.
Yeah. The fight scenes were good. He did. Huh?
The car.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That car was good.
Yeah. The Batmobile, you gotta put a jet turbine in a Camaro? And, I mean, that thing just ripped the new one. I mean, yeah, you can't bank for crap.
No.
Doing a $110 and you're trying to do a 90-degree turn, it's not gonna happen. Especially when you got, 2,000 horse pushing you. Okay? So, yeah, it's, the action scenes were fine, the fight scenes were fine, the character development, they could have did a little bit more work with, because we still don't know who this Penguin is, how he got his name. There's talk that he's coming to HBO Max for his own series or something of that nature. So, but the character development of Batman, we all know what happened to Batman. Okay. They didn't want to rehash that a third time. They've already did it. They you know that his family had difficult elements to it, but they added in weird elements into his family. Like his dad went to Carmine Falcone for some help, if I remember right, because he was running for mayor. Yeah. And his mom take a page out of Flashpoint, Superman, where Martha was the Joker in that. I mean, supposedly Martha had a lot of mental issues, or I don't know what else you call it, disabilities. No, I think we'll leave it at mental issues. I'm sorry if I offend anybody. So you kind of played it out. I didn't care for Gordon. He didn't play a real big role, but what was the funny thing is he's in there interrogating Batman, yelling at, looked like he was yelling at him and told him, "There's a door over there. Here's the keys." And he's like, "Just punch me." So he punches him. Later on, you find out that he's like, he could have held the punch, or you could have pulled a little bit on the punch, and Batman said he did. All right.
Okay.
But I liked this Gotham City.
Yes, it actually had
element.
It had a better feel than a lot of other things I've seen.
Yeah.
Actually, it did have more of a Gotham feel. Let's go with that.
Yeah. I mean, you say you've grown up with the Affleck, and we really don't have a Gotham feel for the Affleck himself. I mean, I'm used to the Tim Burton cityscapes where he kind of goes elaborate. I believe he was the one that was responsible for like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, so Willy Wonka. So it's it's the grandiose scheme. You have to go big or go big or go home. I mean, Catwoman, they did a pretty good flesh out of that. I mean, even to her costume. I mean, it wasn't like she was emphasizing a cat. It's just how the mask fit. Looks like he had little tufts of ears.
She didn't even wear the mask half the time. So.
Right. But she was actually pretty good. The character itself was really good. I don't know anything else for the actress Zoe Kravitz. I don't even recall anything she's been on.
I don't think I've ever seen her.
Yeah, but they did actually pretty good. Like a friend of mine at work, and I even said it to Cody, and he said it to somebody else. 90% of the movies either in rain or dark.
The brightest part of that movie was a motorcycle headlight.
Yeah. Even they had a funeral during the day, and it was still a dark and dreary day.
Yes.
So Cody's not too far off on the whole brightness thing. But I actually like what they did with the Riddler. They went in as far left field as you can go with character development, because the original Riddler was what? He just gave riddles and all this. Wow, that's his big power, or it's not even a superpower, it's his big alias, solve this before a bomb goes off. No, this Riddler was a complete sociopath. As crazy can be, based off of the Zodiac Killer.
Yeah.
And the killer part is I swear to God, in the picture from the orphanage, that was Jeffrey Dahmer's picture when he was a kid. I swear to God, they superimposed Jeffrey Dahmer in there. It's the weirdest thing. And the whole thing about Arkham, wow, I don't think that type of hospital really does exist.
No.
Yeah.
That's as crooked as crooked can be.
So, I mean, the Riddler really, he went above and beyond his character, I think, when he was being interrogated by Batman, and he's just going off, and he's like, I know something, you're Bruce Wayne, and he's going off, and you could tell he was getting under Batman's skin, and then all of a sudden, you don't know what my final plan was? So, I mean, Batman at that point in time gets pissed.
Yeah.
Goes to slam the glass, those security glass.
Those things don't break.
Yeah, he's not getting through that.
That's like 6 layers of like plexiglass. That ain't breaking.
Well, that not alone, that mesh in the middle of it, that strengthens glass.
Yeah, no, that stuff is basically like that stuff's impenetrable.
If you put your hand through that, the mesh is gonna stop it.
If you manage to do it.
Yeah, if you ever manage to do it. But I mean, they chain him all up with the big old shackle around his neck and all. Oh my God, they went totally above and beyond serious. Any of the shots in Arkham, totally way out there. I happen to agree with the set design on that. Very good. About the Riddler, his costume of choice.
That was a little different than what I expected, what's been done in the past.
But I guess the guy that played him, I believe his name is Paul Dano.
The real Riddler or the fake Riddler?
Depends. The guy that actually plays him that was in Arkham with the glasses.
Oh yeah.
I've seen him on other things. I don't want to call him a B-rate actor, but he was a kind of a secondary actor type deal out there. And I think he actually made a pretty good name for himself.
Oh, he did.
He actually came up with the whole concept of wrapping himself in plastic wrap. Yeah. He wrapped himself in plastic wrap. You do not leave DNA behind. You leave nothing behind. So you wrap yourself in plastic wrap. And he then puts this costume on and all. Very simple. Very simple-esque. He has an affinity for W.
Okay.
But the riddles that he puts everybody on, the cipher that, the cipher and the coding around. Oh, sorry. It's like everything went flying in my car. Anyways, the Zodiac Killer did something very similar. He had the cipher and stuff like that. So, I mean, taking a page out of that book was like... It really made this Riddler different.
Yeah.
I have to say, this whole movie was a total game changer. Or just nothing has ever...
It's just different.
Came this close to this Batman. The Batman is different. It's his year 2. Catwoman is way different. Every other one just kind of played on the actual Cat persona. The Riddler that Jim Carrey played, he was a crook, but oh wow, is that his biggest thing? So they went in and they redesigned everything. Everything had a redesign, and they took liberties with backstories. And I know Cody is just waiting for me to bring this character up, and I've been purposely not saying crap about it. This Joker.
Yes, this Joker.
I mean,
oh my, is this one different?
I've lived through just about every iteration of the Joker. There was a black and white TV serial that had the Joker in it. I haven't really seen it. But I know there was a Joker in there. But Cesar Romero, just a plain old crook, you know? He was a crook dressed like a clown, you know? And that's the only Joker we had. And you go right through this whole thing. You got the Jack Nicholson. That was the mobster. It was kind of a clown, per se, in a mobster's role. Then you had the Heath Ledger. Oh my God. The anarchist. How do you describe it? Chaos?
That's what anarchy is.
Yeah.
Basically.
Chaos for no apparent reason other than chaos. And he didn't care who he hurt in the process. Didn't care.
Collateral damage.
No friends, no foes, no nothing. Just laughed. And then we get into this Joker. Now, the movie, we caught at the end when he was talking to the Riddler, and he was getting to the Riddler's head. The dynamic was great. I like that. It wasn't no hysterical laughing. It wasn't forced laughter. He just and that's it. You know, he rolled on to something. You could tell something was there. You could get a general look of his face or a makeout of his head. You couldn't really see his face. You saw some little wisps of green hair.
That didn't look like there was a lot of hair there.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, he was chaos, but he wasn't chaos.
Yeah.
And I'll explain a little bit further. You go into the newly released from Matt Reeves, the deleted scene of the Joker, and you got this whole dynamic. You're like, oh my God, this is different. Goes back to my whole thing about being different. Goes back. I mean, even the back of his head, hair torn out, his face. You get to see around his eyes and just his generalized face. Then you get down to his mouth, and you can make out some of the features of the smile. And what happened is it wasn't necessarily a birth defect. I mean, Matt Reeves described the Joker how he wanted it. Okay, how he think this Joker came about. He didn't fall into a vat of chemicals.
Not like the Suicide Squad one.
Oh yeah, you know, I forgot that one. Jared Leto's Joker.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the name.
He was a psycho.
Purely.
So yeah, I add that into my mix, you know, into the mix. But this one, Matt Reeves wanted to have this Joker have something real to the world. And I believe we had that same discussion right after the movie, real to the world.
Yeah.
If this person ever lived in our world, what would his problem be? Obviously, we know chemicals don't really put a permanent smile on your face, or it could dye your hair, I suppose.
Bleach it, maybe.
Bleach your skin, but it's not going to give you
these. Not going to turn you white. It's not going to turn your hair green.
Yeah. So he has a congenitive disease that's caused his muscles in his mouth, his cheeks, to come up, we're going to add that into little segments here or there into this. I was just telling Cody that I'm working on his sister's Wonder Woman wings, and actually, I have the motor right here, and they were going. I'm a little out of frame here. There we go. That I was just telling Cody that I wanted them to go faster, so I thought it was just a pair of gears in here, large to a small, and it's not. It's a series of compound gears that go nuts in here, and I'm like, holy crap. And I can't make it a 2-gear system because I don't have enough room inside for a big gear. So, but anyways, so I'm printing off some new gears here on the resin printer, like this one. This one's a 19 millimeter, and let's see if I can show it. I'm trying to get it to match up with this. It's perfect teeth, but it's too small. So, but I am filming that separately on a. Yep, I just knocked everything over. So it's a separate series that we're going to input into here. So, yeah, we are in my Star Wars room. If you could, see in the general background over here is a lot of my Star Wars. What is it? Multi-packs, if you want to call it that, in vehicles. I got a whole series of action figures on the other side of the room. So, and then my office computer's right behind me. It's where all the magic happens. Yeah, right. And I actually have a TV going where actually what's on right now is Underworld. Sci-fi Underworld. So, actually, I like this movie. It's actually pretty good. Werewolf vampires fighting each other. I like this storyline. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I came across it once or twice. I put it on my list. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know if I'll watch it, but
it's actually pretty cool from what you're seeing on here. That's actually pretty cool. And we're at the tail end, and ultimately you got all the werewolves coming after the vampires, and they're just shooting them up, killing them up with Kate Beckinsale, and very skin tight outfit. I don't know how she's breathing, and I mean, it looks like leather. But
Yeah.
this actually goes into the cosplay world. It looks like leather, but it's actually rubber. It's a rubberized fabric that she has on. Still really nice. Good costume work on this. The director was actually really, what the hell is his name? Totopoulos? Whatever. So, anyways.
rambling on about
We go on. It's ramblings of an idiot, I swear to God. And it could be any one of us doing it. So anyway, we're going to try not to bore you with too much rambling as we go on with what do we have down here? What am I working on? What is Cody not working on with me? What's going on here? Well, I have like I mentioned, I have a new 3D printer. It's an Elegoo Saturn. It's not the top end of Elegoo, but it's like the third one down, if you want to call it that.
So it's good.
It's good. I've been finding out that there is some positives and negatives with this versus the filament. I got an Ender 3 XL. I call it XL because it has the extender kit in it that makes the build plate larger. But this one, the build plate's a little bit small, but you know what? I could make Wonder Woman bracers on this for Alexis's costume, and it would totally fit on the build plate. And the height's really good. So, but I've been pumping out some stuff lately. I've been going through a lot of resin lately, and because it's for the people that are not aware, it's the resin is a UV curing. So, and it's not like you could take it and recycle it and whatnot. And some people have been doing that with the filament, taking it, recycling it, filament-wise, because it is plastic. I mean,
Yeah.
it melts plastic, puts it down, and boom. This you can't, so. But I've actually came across a nice little project that I saw up online, and it's called a Pie Boy. So, being a product of the 90s, as I am, I was born in '75, so I was around when the original Game Boys came out, and it's about the size of a Game Boy Classic. But the Game Boy Classic had an A and B button, and this one has like A, B, and X and Y, whatever it is. So anyway,
something like that.
yeah. So it gives you all the parts you have to 3D print for this, and then you insert a Raspberry Pi model into this. I got a Pi 4 over here. Excuse me, I got cat hair or something. I'm always touching my face. On the camera, I'm always touching my face. It's something to do. Something with me. Anyways, so the Pi 4 doesn't fit into this, so you have to kind of go down into a Pi 2 or a Pi 1, just because, the Pi 4 also has a double USB connection in it, so, and this one has a 1. But anyways, so you put all that stuff in. So yeah, it's, why am I talking about this on a cosplay in more minutes? Well, this is part of the more, but it's also part of the whole thing that you could do almost anything with a 3D printer. I know you got a 3D pen upstairs.
Yeah.
It's clogged right now, but
yeah,
we could unclog it. I got a nice unclogger over there. It's a filament that you heat up the hot end, and I use this for my ender. You heat up the hot end and you put this filament stuff in, and it's cleaner. And then what you do is you let it cool while it's sitting in there, and it will actually cool around whatever's in there and pull it right out. It's a real nice, and it's when you run it through your hot end, it actually kind of oils because it has oils in it of some kind. So it lubes it up. So, but and Cody's had that for a little bit now, and we've actually had a few things with the off the ender for Transformers. Cody collects Transformers. We also collect action figures and whatnot, as we can see. Anything that makes me a child at heart, seriously, it's wicked cool. But enough of the 3D printers, because I have a separate segment that I talked about the resin versus the filament. It was one of those solo things. You'll hear some of these solo things, and once again, rambling. It's like a dog, oh look, bright shiny thing, or squirrel at that, yeah. Bright shiny thing, okay. Anyways, it just seems that we have our best ideas in the car, and we talk about the most asinine things on the face of the planet in the car. I don't understand. So you know what? I got a little GoPro Hero 4, and I'm leaving it in the car on standby, because you never know when we have a real interesting segment coming up. I would have liked it when we had a pretty good segment when we went out to see Batman, but it's a little controversial, so I'm not going to put it up here. But it's stuff like that. We just go through everything. Hey, Cody, you want to go down to Lowe's with me? Yeah, sure. And we just find the most stupid thing to talk about. So, but anyways, getting back to this whole thing. All right, so I was telling you that it's good for the cosplay world with a resin printer, and this is a prop from the comic book. What was it? The Infested. It was a Batman Who Laughs who made these batarangs with this Joker toxin serum from his world, and he imbued that into these batarangs, which this is the Shazam batarang, by the way, unfinished. And you throw it, and it sticked into them, and it imbued them. It forced them to be infected by the chemical, the Joker chemical, which made Shazam. I got to keep in mind if I can't stand up because it cuts off my head. It made Shazam into King Shazam, which is kind of an evil version of what he was supposed to be. So, but anyways, this was done on the resin printer. It was done in 6 pieces. You can actually see my seams. Both the wings were 2 pieces apiece, obviously, and the center emblem was 2. So it's all together. It's super glued, and I'll just need to fill in the seams and paint it up silver, and do the emblem in a different color. So, but I'm just saying that these printers are actually really nice when it comes down to making props. If you can't make it by hand and you're really stretching it, I mean, back a few years, I would have made it out of cardboard or something like that and casted it and molded it. And coincidentally, I got a whole segment on that will come into effect in one of these shows. But that is kind of like the cosplay world here. You can make whatever. They have all these free ones online. These free STL files. They're 3D files for making these things. So, and you can do almost anything. So, yeah. So I'm making a Batman costume. So I'm making a Batman costume, and I already have the Batman Who Laughs, and I have a Joker, so I'm like, well, why not complete the trifecta and jump in to it fully? So I decided, okay, I want to do a Batman, but you know what? I really don't want to do a Batman, like any specific Batman. Yeah, you were putting it on just right.
Yeah.
Set up. Yeah. I didn't want to go and copy any other Batmans that are out there. This one will feature some of the more popular parts of any Batmans out there. So this is based on, this gauntlet is the Ben Affleck Batman.
My arms are a little shorter than his, but it's for the elbows. But yeah, you get the general point.
They're a latex rubber of sorts, and this was the original. Yeah, there we go. That was the original. I decided I didn't like these tabs, these fins on there. So I ended up opting to going with some of these other fins that I found online and 3D printed them. And I've been installing them in and gluing them in. I wanted them to be slightly different in size so that they'll go right down. And so far it's working wonderfully. I use a lot of E6000 glue, which works great with rubber products. But I've also been using this contact adhesive, Clear Grip. It's Gorilla Glue. I'm not getting any pushbacks from this, so please, no one sponsors me or so. So this is the kind of Gorilla Glue, and it's working actually very well with this, holding it all together. So when you put these on, you had this small opening right there, and it doesn't go on too good. Ah. You know, it's really, I don't know if my hands are big or whoever made these were small, but I don't know. So anyways, so I opted to start putting a zipper in there. Yep, as what you see with Cody is showing you now. I'm putting the zipper in so when you unzip it, I can fit my hand through there. And this is one of my gloves. It's not for that one.
Yeah.
But this is one of my gloves I'm using for it. Oh, gross, that's nice, huh?
Yeah, it's got.
I think I'm going to keep the silver, the silver accents in there. So, we'll see when that whole thing gets done. I'm planning on painting it out with some Plasti Dip, and that's going to obviously blend right into everything that's going on there. So. I did have to cut down a little bit on these gauntlets to expose the knuckles on there. So, so I've been doing a little bit of work on those. So, that's what I got going here. I also have, like I said, I'm working on a Wonder Woman, a Batman. I do have a Nightwing. I keep telling Cody, God, I have to get back into this, and he's been hearing that for quite a few months. It's been very, very busy, and it's not getting any better. I started with a new company recently, so it was it's trying to find time. And my daughter's doing competitions, so the weekend's a shot. Cody's actually pretty good because he doesn't ask for much. His stuff is during the week. Oh, minus if he goes camping. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got my moments.
Yeah. So, but we've been just hard at work doing other things around here. We had a major flood in this basement, and this room was one of those. And what was that, Cody, about the X-Wing?
Oh, yeah.
It's over there. My wife called me and told me that, we got this major leak in the basement, and a little bit later Cody's accessing the damage.
Okay, so this was halfway underwater, and now as you can see, this is the X-Wing that Luke took to Dagobah to go find Yoda. When Yoda pulled the X-Wing out of the water, it just dripped and dripped and dripped. as seen, it's got all the moss on it. Same thing happened here. I found it. I pulled it out of the water, and it just dripped and yeah. It looked the same way. It was funny. It was terrible, but funny.
So yeah, we cleaned that up. We've gotten back to the swing of things in here. It was a long time coming to get this place back to square one. I do still have all my building stuff from when you saw me when we were doing the costuming stuff. We were in my workshop, and that's currently just full of crap. That's taking it light. It's full of crap. But that's where my Ender 3 is, and hopefully we're going to get back to that and do some other things. Hey, you want to grab that scarecrow? We can show people that I'm also doing a scarecrow costume for Cody. I'm like, for Cody. He didn't ask for this. I said we're doing this.
Oh, that's full of fluid. That's why that's heavy.
Yeah. So, so this is the Scarecrow from Arkham, the Arkham Asylum series, and it's his wrist contraption, and there's orange fluid in that, trying to simulate the fear toxin, and it goes down and it links up into syringe bodies. Those are actual syringes that I found They're like the plastic syringes, and I want to say, you know what they were from? It was Halloween, and I found those at Walmart for shots. For all intents and purposes, shots. You put you put liquor in them, and you shoot. But that's what they were, and I'm like, I knew that someday I was going to use them, and there it is. So the vials here are actual glass vials. I wish I could have found plastic ones, but those are glass vials from Michael's, and I glued and sealed the end shut so it would not leak. The syringes, I actually put the plunger back into it. I took the whole, I don't know, what do you call that?
What?
The plunger end on a syringe.
Plunger.
Yeah, okay.
That's officially the name
Okay.
of it, yeah.
So I took the plunger out, and they had the plastic, or I'm sorry, the rubber end in there. So I put that back in, figured out the finger length, and glued and sealed that shut. But in the process, I put in this fluid into each of these syringes. Well, the needles are, those red straws you get like with WD-40. I actually found a distributor where I ordered like 10 of them or something like that. And just some simple little, I don't know, tire caps, air caps, to just dress it up a little bit. So I still got some work to go with that, like a lock-in mechanism, but showing it off to everyone. Yeah. So I have that done. I do have the mask, a hood, the chest piece, which was actually funny because that's Amazon, chest by Amazon, or abs by Amazon. A friend of mine actually said that one day, because he did something similar to his costume. He put that in. So, but I got the pants done. So it's a matter of just working. I worked on the shoes. I got the shoes played with. And now I'm working on trying to do like some sort of an arm thing, So I mean, I used to put costumes out like crazy, pumping them out, and it's just money and then time and all that. We just didn't get a chance to. So another quick thing is Alexis wanted to do a Captain Carter after the
What If series.
Yep, the What If series on TV. I don't know if it. I suppose it doesn't really matter which way it goes. No. So I did up the costume. You can actually see it online, and I think I did a very good job with it. I actually took Cody's spider cap shield, which is right over there. I actually used Cody's old spider cap shield as a go-by. This is the third shield I've made. I made you two, and well, this is a repaint and a adjustment, with the handles in the back. Here made them more realistic because they had these cheap elastic handles in there. So. Actually, since I'm talking about it, it's all plastic, and I forget exactly what I used for glue in there. It wasn't E6000 because it would have pulled by now, but it was some sort of epoxy base. And I made these straps that I had this faux leather and the foamies you get at Michael's, and just put it all together. It actually came out very good. And from that shield that Cody had till this one, we're talking 7 years?
Yeah, something
8
like
years?
That. So, yeah.
maybe 6, over 5 years ago. So I haven't changed the design all that much. You also had a shield for Taskmaster, which obviously I don't.
That's upstairs in my room.
And what happened was Cody had a Captain America shield, unaltered, and it was broken. But I decided, you know what? I am gonna lay fiberglass over it and fiberglass a new shield out of it. So when I took the shield, I covered it with plastic wrap and a little bit of Vaseline to help with the sticking of the fiberglass. And then I fiberglassed the whole thing and made a nice shield. And it was the same size as these, same interior, same everything, except for a different emblem on the top. Now this shield was a pain. I was in between jobs, so I had some time at home, so it took me a number of hours to get this paint job just right. I couldn't tell you how many times I've sanded and resanded and painted and repainted. So it was a Captain America shield, as you can see with the star in there. You don't see any star out here. I Bondoed it. That is, a cosplayer's best friend is Bondo. And I Bondoed it and sanded it and super sanded it and just went all off nuts just because I wanted a nice surface. So with all my costumes, I do that. I put 100% effort into every costume. Cody can actually vouch for that. 100% with every costume. We never cease to have people saying "ooh," to our costumes. They're really great. And I have, I've kindled actually a very good friendship with some of the dance moms on the competition team, and one of them, her daughter was talking about doing a Peggy Carter. So here it is. You can borrow the shield at any time, and I actually have a 3D file for Peggy Carter's badge from the her Agent Carter series.
The one shot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a badge in there, so. But other than that, I mean, we've talked a lot about cosplaying and various stuff here. Do you have anything you want to throw in here? No, Cody. I mean, we've been going off and staying on target and off target, and tasteless humor, like Joe Biden.
Not on the camera.
Okay, all right. Yes, I'm not a big fan of our current president, but everybody has their opinion, and I hope I don't lose viewers because of it. Anyways, so we are actually getting close to completing this. I do have some segments we're going to be putting in here, and but other than that, I can't think of anything else. We're going to try to do this. I would like to do this once a week, but actually I'm thinking twice a month might be sufficient. It gives some time. But we might film every week, but they might come out. We got a dance competition this weekend, and I've already told Cody that we'll, if we need to, we'll FaceTime a segment. So, but anyways, other than that, we are actually running out of time here. What's on here? Rise of the Lycans. Underworld, Rise of the Lycans. This is the prequel to the movie that was just on. So.
And they play it after.
Yeah. Why don't I just give you a panoramic of what I'm talking about for a room? Huh? Okay, I'm behind the camera now. And I'm just trying to get this good. All right. So, we got Cody right here. Yep,
Hi.
you see Cody. And
You don't need my other mug in the face.
we got some action figure stuff. And right here is part of my Elegoo wash station and a ultraviolet curing station. Yes, that's my Cricut, or it's a silhouette with my laptop. And when I was telling you that we had a TV down here, I was not joking. We actually got a TV down here. So, yes, that's my desk, and you've been seeing all this stuff for the last 30 minutes. The chair Cody's been sitting on, yeah. And this is where he's been putting all the crap.
I put it somewhere.
Okay. And you don't need to see that trash bag. I've been doing some cleaning. So, yes, this is all part of my, you know what, hi. We're getting, I'm getting in front of the camera. So now we got a nice, easy chair there, my Emperor's chair with my Batman cape. And we got a nice Wonder Woman puzzle with an X-Wing fighter on top of it. Oh, yay! Oh, I really love that.
That's the first one.
Okay, you know, and here is all my action figures.
With a mannequin in front of it.
Yes, with a Nightwing costume in front of it. I have well over 1,000 action figures sitting in that case. And you know what? This one right here, you can't really see it. I should move the camera.
Yeah, a little bit.
You think so?
Yeah, just a tad.
You think so? You think I should move the camera?
Just a tad.
Okay. Back around the camera. I just unplugged the camera. Unplugged the power. So yes, I have more action figures here, vintage figures, and new stuff. Yeah. And yes, that was all part of the Captain Carter costume. And all my wonderful action figures. And there's Cody's costume. Say hi, Cody's costume. And yes, my my Daniel Logan autograph and my Captain Cody autograph. Oh, Tamar Morrison's a really nice guy. Seriously. He's awesome. I met him, and Cody was about 3 years old, and I had a picture signed by him. And one for me and one for Cody, and I think it said, "You're next. Cody, you're next."
Yeah.
Because he's like, "Who should I make this out to?" I'm like, "Cody." And he just turned to give me this look, and I'm like, "No, there's clones all over the place." And Lisa actually ended up getting a picture with him, and she thought he was pretty hot because he had his arm around her. And then, you know, my books and stuff like that. Unfortunately, when we had the flood, I had a different bookcase, and I lost a lot of my books. You know, first printings. And
yeah, I remember that thing weighed like 70 pounds.
Yeah. My Millennium Falcon and my Queen's Royal Ship. So, all right. And yes, I even have a Darth Plagueis action figure. People are well aware that the action figures, when you collect them out, they get valuable, and that's one of my most valuable in my collection. Well, actually, what's not the most valuable? Can you tilt that camera down a little bit?
Wait, down?
No.
Down?
You're down. You're down, which raises it up.
Oh, wait, I'm confused.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, stop right there.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, this action figure is quite costly. I have a Jawa that's actually just as pricey. So, all right. So, with that being all said, I think we are officially done. I just wanted to show you the room that we're going to film in, and we're going to do some things maybe over here and over, I don't know where. And we could be at the table with the puzzle. I don't know. So, but anyways, but with that being said, I do appreciate your time. Thank you for sticking with us, and I hope you do come back for more of these shows. I'm trying not to bore you guys. We're trying to make it fun. So, All right. Look out for these little segments. The segment about the casting and mold making. We've done a segment for Infinity Stones. Look out for that real soon. Real soon. And the Batman review. And I've also put a segment together for comparing the two 3D printers. So look out for all this information and more. I'm hoping to be and more for quite a bit. So, all right. So thank you very much for sticking around. Have yourself a wonderful week or weekend or whenever you are watching this or hearing this. Even I've been contemplating putting this into a podcast also. So I could take the audio, lift the audio right out of it, real easy. So, all right. Well, take care, everyone, and we will see you in 2. Bye.
Bye.